Hello, everybody, and thank you very much for joining our webinar entitled How to Use Data to Accelerate Sales Growth and Build Resilience. The webinar today is hosted by Thomas Mavroudis and Stefan Ibal. They are experts from our Dun & Bradstreet Sales and Marketing Solutions team who help clients every day to drive growth through the use of data. Over to you, Stefan, to go through the agenda.
Thank you very much, Vicky, and it's a great pleasure to be here, and welcome to the audience today. To be honest, I am longing for the day where I can change my glasses to the virtual, to the mixed reality glasses and meet you all in one room. And what would I see? I would see many attendants coming from all over Europe, and people coming from all kind of different companies. From wholesale, from retail, from business services, and many of you come from the manufacturing industry. So as this audience is very diversified, what is it that brings us all together? Well, it's exactly two topics. First, accelerate growth, and how to use the right data to accelerate growth, and business resilience in times. Well, let's say, I don't know if it's strange times, if it's challenging times. Thomas, you'll go with us through those topics. And today the agenda will be the following. First of all, Thomas, you will lead us through current market challenges. You will talk about data as the business foundation. And slowly we'll get the turn to lead management, having the right data at the right time. And that will be the time where I will come back with a live demo on the D&B data cloud, that has more than 500 million company profiles all over the world, and really to go through some processes, to show you not only how to find leads, but also how to streamline processes and integrate that into your CRM system. And I will make as an example the Salesforce.com system. Any other system will do also. After we've done that, let's go to some customer success stories, and we'll have a Q&A time. I guess it'll all take us for about 45 minutes. So we're ready to go. Thomas.
Hello everyone. Also, good morning from my side, and thank you very much, Stefan. And I would agree with you. I don't know what kind of times we are having, but they are very interesting times. So let's start. I would like to give a short introduction to the topic and also to the challenges customers are facing or companies are facing. And I will start. And I would also like to encourage everyone to put in the questions in the chat. So because at the end, as Stefan has said, we have time to answer all of the questions, and we are more than happy to answer the questions and receive the questions, because at the end of the day, our aim is that you go out of the webinar and says, yes, really, it was worthwhile to join this webinar. I've learned something, and I would like maybe to learn additional information from Dun & Bradstreet, and I would like really to invite you. So looking at the picture in front of us, so I think every one of us will agree that we are currently really living in, as I said, interesting times. So the the companies are really facing diverse threats for the businesses. So we are having the fears of recession, or we are already in some countries in recessions. We have the high interest rates. We have the high inflation, the energy prices. That's the current, let's say, economic environment. But also that what we are seeing and what we are facing is that the trends in the markets are really changing quite fast. So meaning that what today is hot, tomorrow won't be hot, and other new trends will arrive. And this is something that companies have to adjust accordingly. And if we see this kind of challenges, and if you talk about resilience, and we should think, okay, how we could be resilient. We did our survey on our resilience study, and what it clearly found out, or you as a customer have answered on the question, what are the key factors to build resilience? It's to increase revenue. It's to drive the business growth. So we see here that on the one hand side, everyone would expect, let's say, to reduce costs or to diversify the risk portfolio, but we see clearly that 1/3 or more than 1/3 of the surveyed clients said to be resilient, we need to grow. So how can companies grow? And the answer is also very clear here, but there's no this question. The answer is data. Data is the foundation. Data is the foundation we need to use, or companies need to use, to grow. And if we see here this kind of quotation or quote, we see that almost 80% of the clients say, yeah, we need the right data. We need to identify, to see the right data to be able to grow. And now coming here to the point that at this stage, who is responsible for growing the business? Clearly, it's responsible, the sales and marketing organizations, because of course, these organizations are responsible to identify the right leads. These company departments are responsible to talk to the right companies, to talk with the right content, convince customers that to make business with. So really the functions, sales and marketing, are very crucial in the companies. And if you're talking about combination, we need data to do this, and we need to talk to our clients. There are also additional surveys. How can customers be convinced to work with suppliers together? And here it's clearly also showing that 70% of the surveyed customers said, if a vendor is able to understand really my need, is really able to understand my business, what I'm doing here, what I'm needing, what kind of challenges I'm facing at the moment, what challenges my industry is facing. Therefore, I will be loyal, and I will most probably, of course, purchase my products from this kind of vendor, not from a vendor that does not understand me. The same also, 50% saying, okay, I consider brands as really reliable. Reliable if someone really understands my business needs. So it's really clear what our customers are expecting, are demanding from us. But if we ask sales organizations, and if you ask marketing organizations, do we feel confident? Do we have everything to understand our clients? Then the answer is the opposite. 60% of the marketeers and 50% of the salespeople say, I don't have reliable data to understand exactly what our customers are doing. The same also, I don't have the right data. I have a lot of data maybe, but I don't have the relevant data. I don't have the opportunity to combine the data and to see, okay, what are the customers currently facing? What are the challenges we are having? And exactly how we can solve this problem. And I would like to point out that there is a way to overcome this obstacle, and there is a way really to match, on the one hand side, the expectations of our clients, and on the other hand, of course, to increase the knowledge of our marketing departments and the knowledge of our sales departments. How is this going? This is going in the following way. So, as I already said, to be resilient and to be really fit to the market, understand the market, we need to combine data. And there are different data sources. And what we are doing and what we are proposing is that we have to use, on the one hand side, high qualitative company data to really understand in which industries the companies are at the moment, how big the companies are, which locations, how many employees. This is the basis of everything. And now coming to the point, resilience, of course, we need to ensure that if we approach companies, we need to assure that these companies will survive in 12 months, in 6 months. So we need also to consider the risk information, the probability of default, to be sure that the customers I will approach, they will be there in 12 months and they will pay my bills. So it's all about the foundation. But the graph is also showing it's not the totally truth. So to be able to have the total picture of companies I'm talking, I need also to consider the so-called online data. So how companies describe themselves on, as an example, on a website, what they are talking on a website, what they are talking in news publications about themselves, and also what kind of technology they are using. So on the one hand side, it's good to know, let's say, the industries, and I will give in a couple of seconds also an example that industries, let's say, it's nice to know, but don't say exactly what companies are really doing, are really producing, are really serving their clients. And this will, let's say, combine with the online data, which gives you the totally picture, the so-called 360-degree view. And then ideally, if we have, let's say, the transparency, what companies are talking about themselves, what companies are doing, then especially in sales, in the sales area, but also in the marketing area, it's to know when these companies are really interested to buy products and services. And here, coming to the next dimension, it's a dimension of timing. So let's say the king's way, we say, is to really not only to know which companies are relevant, I need to approach, but also to be sure that these companies are in the market at the moment. And there are different technologies to identify this. Just mentioning as an example that if we are able, imagine this, if we are able to identify a relevant company that has visited our company website and has visited a specific product, this means, I'm known at this company, and this company already maybe think about to buy my product, and this should be the signal to approach the client and talk about this. Let's say this is the very obvious one, but there are also other techniques like the so-called third-party intent. It's identifying companies even they don't know you as a vendor. It's identifying in terms of what they are researching in the internet, what they are consuming in terms of content in the internet, and then deriving, okay, if the content is relevant to my services and to my products, then it's a perfect fit to pick up the phone, let's say, or build up your marketing campaign and approach these companies and say, hey, I have the right products for you. Now coming to the example of, I said, industries is good to have, but not always showing the whole truth of the picture of the company. And I took us as an example, Dun & Bradstreet. If you choose and see the industry codes, how Dun & Bradstreet is described in a NACE code as an example, or on a US SIC code base, you see that, Dun & Bradstreet is working in some kind of business and management consulting activities or management consulting services, which is everything and anything, I would say, not saying, okay, what we are doing. And therefore, it's exactly relevant or crucial to complete the picture, as I said, with the so-called online data. If you combine this with the data, how we're describing ourselves on our company website, then you immediately will see, hey, Dun & Bradstreet is a service provider of data, serves different use cases like the marketing use case, the sales acceleration use case, analytics use case, data management use case, but also risk and compliance. So it's the completion of the picture and really having the full transparency. And then, as I already also mentioned, the timing perspective. If someone, if we identify that someone is interested currently to grow their business, to be resilient, that by, as an example, seeing that companies are consuming content in the internet, downloading white papers related to sales growth, sales content management, sales strategy. This means this company is interested to grow, is interested to be resilient, and really to build up processes to ensure that in these times we are facing at the moment, to navigate secure through these times. So this is the third-party intent, and also mentioned the so-called, I'm identifying a company that has visited my website, and we see this peak here at one certain date, today, yesterday, someone has visited my website, and this would be, let's say, the call to action to my sales team to pick up the phone and find find the right contact person. And I will come to this all in a couple of seconds back, the right person, because what I would like here at that point to mention is everyone knows the so-called sales funnel. Yeah, I would like here to mention how this data combination works together and how if we combine the data will affect the sales funnel. And it's, I think, very obvious. If we take the foundational data, yeah, we have really a huge amount of companies, 1,000, 300,000, something like that. By combining and searching on terms that these companies have on their company website, we will reduce the relevant companies because they are talking about the topics we are offering, as an example. And ideally, if we are also able to identify when these companies are in the market, we see that from, let's say, we are talking not anymore about quantity, but about quantity. The companies at the end, they don't need to be hundreds or thousands companies, but they need to be the relevant companies. So we have the capacity to inform ourselves and to get in touch with them. And as I said, it's good to know the companies, but it's even more important, to know to whom to contact. So the need today, it's not anymore to know the relevant companies, but also the relevant contact persons, because we of course know that not the decisions are not taken every time from the C-level management. It's taken by specialists, special departments, compliance departments, finance departments, not always on the C-level. So therefore, it's important to see who is in the company responsible for a specific topic, and also to be provided by how to reach out to this company. So it's interesting, and it's requested to have, let's say, for example, the social media profiles. I can see what kind of post this person has, or even better, have a direct dial to call directly through with the relevant content, or a direct email address, so I can directly address my offering according to the needs of this kind of company. So coming now to the end of my theoretical part, if we are able to do this, I think we are able to build up really a resilient basis to growth. And if we are able to do, we always see that it has effects on both sides. When I'm talking on both sides, it's the one side, of course, obviously, we are able to grow our business in terms of revenue. But on the other side, we are also able to reduce our sales costs, because we don't have to identify and to search for specific companies. We are really focusing and taking our valued time to these companies that are really relevant to us. And this leads, of course, to higher quality of leads. They can build up much more faster our pipeline. We can definitely be ahead of our competition, because we have more informed sales. And at that point, I would like really to hand over to Stefan, because in theory it's nice to tell you, but we would like, or Stefan would like, to show you an example of how you can implement this, what I've guided you through, and to show you how you can build up your resilient sales pipeline and find really the top leads for your company.
Thank you, Thomas. You mentioned many topics, and the question is always, is there a way to combine all those topics you just mentioned? And of course, when you say it's theory, no, it's not theory, because it's exactly what we from consulting, when we talk to customers who want to strengthen their position and grow, how they talk to us. So let's just try to get a glance at the DNB data cloud. You will see, as an example, it's on an online database that we use, but it makes no difference if you use it as an online database. We'll later see how to get it integrated in CRM system, and later we could also talk how to integrate all those information also in web shops or ERP system, and talk about the processes. But today, let's focus on the right target group. Now, I get an inspiration. I just take the profile of you attending this webinar. So let's take a look. I said, as you said, Thomas, we started with the high quality data. So especially with location fields, let's select all European companies, 62 million. Now, as I said, you are merely coming from manufacturing. So let's click on industries. And here you got a whole bunch of different selection criteria. Yeah, I would select, let's go for the European NACE code. This is a standard code to classify what companies are doing, and to make European statistics. And when I select, you see it's a 4-digit code. You can drill down. But as Thomas, you mentioned sometimes you might drill down, but it's still not precise enough. We'll see that later. But first of all, I would select all those companies that are somehow in manufacturing. Let's go from these NACE codes. What means NACE is French for Nomenclature d'Activité Commerciale Européenne. So it's just a classification code. So, and here we are through, and selecting the industries reduces it to 3 million companies. Way too much for me. I said you're mostly mid-sized companies, so let's go for the employees figures. Where are we now? At 200,000. Still way too much for us, because we just want to just a handful of companies. Now, you mentioned the risk, the risk indicators. Dun & Bradstreet comes from more than 100 years in how to predict insolvencies. So we got some indicators on a high level to include only those companies with low risk and medium risk, 80,000. Now, it's starting getting interesting. You talked in the part of online data, you talked about technologies. And as I said, well, this data set could be included in the most common CRM system. I would be interested in only those companies who have Salesforce CRM or Microsoft CRM. So that would be the main CRM system. 29,000 companies are left. Let's go ahead to the next topic. Let's go for the website search. What is the website search? We scrolled all the websites from the companies worldwide, and we made an index on terms on their website. So, for example, if I'm looking for companies who have sustainability or sustainable growth on their website, well, I can enter any search term. I can also enter products, or I could enter even name of companies. If I want to check which company is working with what logistics services, maybe it's on their website. So you can enter anything you want on this website content. 4,500 companies. That sounds good, but we're missing one thing, the intent data, because I am interested in those companies who are actually today Googling, looking on the internet on specific terms. So they're searching for that. This is why it's called intent data. And the intent search terms, well, they're all gathered around through in different categories. And as I'm looking for those companies who are looking for new leads, I just enter lead. I find here some search term that are already possible. So let's go for lead quality, lead tracking, generation consulting, and even online lead generation, a very hot topic. Well, I guess that would be enough. And now we have a list of exactly what I'm looking for, exactly a number that I can handle of 11 companies.
That's the topic, Stefan. Quality, not quantity. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this is the list. It's still, I can, first of all, I can check on the view web pages matched if things like, I entered sustainability, and I see, wow, this group has many pages where they talk about sustainability. So this is this already matched. You still see the search criteria right here. That was here in sustainability. The intent data, I entered a lot of intent data. Where were they? Oh, it's below here. You see on the left side, those were the search terms, and 4 of those around 20 search terms were found here on this company. So that looks good to me. And now we see that this company already visited the DNB main page many times, 564 times. Then the second one, only 17 times. There were in the last in the last month on our website. You see here, we have a business directory where in this data range, there were 53 people from this company who was looking for something, and 19 were on the dnb.com main page. So that sounds good to me. So this makes this company for me as a lead even more valuable. Because they are already on our web page. Now I could download those data, but we were talking about contacts. So let's see how many of those contacts we can find. And so you just click on the matching contacts. And of course, every contact on the DNB database is always regarding the GDPR, the regulation. They are all here. You see that they're all registered. And you will see that from those companies there are 633 contacts. Again, way too much for me, especially because I find positions that I might not be interested in. I'm only looking for those. If I modify those contact search, I'm looking for what can I choose? The contact level. On one hand, I can choose job functions that are already put in some standardized categories. I could say even those who have a LinkedIn profile, or those where the title contains some topics like, let's say, sales, or who'd be interested marketing. Let's go for marketing. I add those, and we'll see how many of those 600 will have that position. Europe-wide, 51. Great. I can view the result. Now, it'll take a while. Yeah, after then you will see here the names here coming. You will see they're in sales, head of sales. Yeah, you will also find marketing. So that works perfectly. Now, there's one topic that is not nice. First of all, you don't know which of those you already have in your system. I mean, you could download those as an Excel file and then upload that in your CRM. But then the work begins. You need to dedupe them. Who of the contacts do I already have? Which company do I already have? And now we are entering the next stage, that is the automation and the digitization of the processes. And that's where we go. We take the same list of companies, but it is seamlessly integrated into Salesforce. You see, this is a salesforce.com CRM system. There's an app for that. Yeah, and you will see the same way of selecting your data, with the same results, but integrated in Salesforce. And what's the big difference? Well, there's a button here saying send to CRM. And if you click on this one, then it will dedupe. But first of all, when you take a look at the results, you already see here by some of those 9 records that they are already in Salesforce. So it's already deduped by the identification number, the Data Universal Numbering System that we call the DUNS number. This is a unique number identifying not only each company, but also each location of each company. And it's definitely unique. Yeah, not as the tax ID, not as the VAT ID that is assigned to not only to the legal entity, but also to the branches. In this case, the DUNS number is unique, and it will be the key, not only for deduplication of your data, but also for monitoring if there are any news, any changes in the data. The DUNS number will be the key, and the DUNS number will also be the identifier that will be sent from the CRM to the ERP system, where you later would need some risk information, where that will further be sent to compliance because you want to make some compliance checks like blacklists or other checks. So the DUNS number will be the identifier in your processes throughout the company. Now, what can I say? For example, if I now would send this record, I see that this company is already in my system. I can check, it's once by the account or by the lead. And if I here you saw popping up, I go back, I nearly forgot it, because that's really nice. If I'm in sales, I get a result list and I got a real good description of what the company is doing, the main criteria for segmentation and for reporting, how many employees, how much sales. So then I can view what I already got in my system, and now look what's happening if it's integrated. Normally it takes 10 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe an hour to fill all those fields. What's the right company spelling? What is it doing? What is, to whom does this company belong? How big is it? And what's the VAT ID, for example? So those are so important data keys, especially when we go into, it's not big data, but it's also in everything that is exploding with ChatGPT, etc., and analyzing all your data. But you need those standardized information, as I just showed you right now. So you would have them all in your system. Yeah, I take a glance at you, Thomas. Is there anything that I forgot? Oh yeah, maybe one thing, if I'm here on the details, yeah, you will also see, this is maybe the one more thing that I want to show you, especially when you are globally active, yeah, or if you have a strong key account management, because it's already integrated. Okay, this company, to whom does it belong? Okay, fine for that. But how many further companies are there? And I see 1,876 companies are related to this company. I already prepared it, the so-called family tree, yeah, because that's really amazing, because at one glance, you can directly see what other subsidiaries are there. You can filter that, related to your region, that you say, I'm also only interested in those companies in Poland. Yeah, you find six companies. So that would be the additional value, not only for leads, where I may need a little bit more data for marketing purpose, but where I also can check the corporate linkages. Now again, Thomas, did I
Stefan,
I matched all the topics that you mentioned?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm really impressed every time when I'm seeing this. Yeah, because I think that it was really clearly showing. On the one hand side, we are able to combine data and to really find the best leads and also the best contacts. Yeah, and on the other hand side, we saw also, if we want to integrate it in our processes, like you already described quite well. Yeah, we are also able to integrate it in Salesforce, as you showed as an example, but also to Microsoft and other systems. And this will definitely help to increase the resilience, the robustness of our activities. And we saw also very nice that sales and marketing could be, or not could be, is the foundation, really the foundation to build up the processes, because everything starts at the beginning, the identification of the leads. And if I'm all able to onboard my leads according rightly or good, then all the other processes, you mentioned them, finance process, compliance process, are really easy to handle. But what I would also like to show is that it's really proven what we have shown you here. Yeah, it's really proven. We have customers who definitely report us and say, hey, we have increased our revenue, we have decreased our sales costs. And here I have an example from a client who's really very, very happy. He's really stepped into the topic of digitization, uses data to identify best possible leads, uses automation to approach this kind of customers. And this should show you that on the one hand side, the left hand side, the decrease of the costs, if you can save only the time to really research, to find the best possible leads. So this will help you a lot on the one hand side. And on the other side, this customer has also reported after they have implemented the system or used the system, clearly it has shown that the revenue has increased, but also the efficiency of all the sales processes, the data-driven approach has helped them really to boost and streamline the processes. So as said, on the one hand side, cost reduction, but also on the other hand side, the revenue increase. And I would like to summarize what we have presented today to you here. And it's our last slide, and then we are open and we are really looking forward to your questions. That success and to be resilient, that's really the key message today, is going hand by hand with data. The service already clearly showed that, but also with digitization. So the use of the data, the right data, combination of the data. This means that we recommend you to integrate the systems and to use all the relevant data to get the 360-degree view on all the relevant information, and to make your sales and marketing activities really highly informed. And then you should find the right timing when the customer is proactively in the market. And then, of course, the ideal solution is to be able to be provided with the right contact and the right way to approach this kind of contact, and to be much more informed, to be, let's say, on the same level of information, and to be much more confident and resilience with your clients. So by saying that, I would like to open the stage for questions. Vicky, do we have any questions in the chat?
Yes, we do. And thank you both very much for an informative and insightful webinar. So the first question that's come in is, will we get a copy of the slides and a recording of the webinar? And yes, absolutely. We will send out a recording and download of these slides within the next few days. The next question that's come in is it also possible to buy a one-time data set?
The question is, why would someone need only one time a data set? So our recommendation is that if you want to build up strengthen your sales and marketing activities, you have to use it in a regular way, and you have to build it up. Nevertheless, there is always the opportunity to test our products, to get let's say, short-term access, and to see how it works, and to get really the feeling if it's really relevant or not relevant for someone.
Yeah. And additionally, many of our customers struggle with GDPR regulations, especially here in Europe, where you need to update. You have to update all your data regularly. So that would also be something that you need to think of when working with business data.
Great. Thank you very much. So the next question that came in is, how do you deal with customer account potential and relevance? The best lead makes no sense if the account is very low in terms of potential.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree. And I think Stefan has showed that I think the potential at least has two dimensions: how big a company is. So you can select, I don't know, maybe on the employee size, how big a company is, but also on the revenue size. That's the one hand side. On the other hand side, I see also the activities. If the company, his main industry is acting in, is the industry I'm offering, services and products, or is it a niche industry? That's the one thing. And of course, also the website content. How often we saw sustainability, how many pages this company had on his website. And if you see that's only one hit in the page has many sites below, and it's only one hit, then you can derive the potential. But at the end, we're not taking the responsibility to prove and to see that, and in the sense that's the potential by themselves, our clients.
Yeah. But what I'm doing a lot is helping customers to review the term of potential, because in the last years, sales were always obliged to enter in their CRM system how much potential sales is there in it. Even if you just make 1,000 euro, what is this customer worth? Yeah, but the question for a sales leader will always be, how can I trust the whole foundation of those entries? And isn't it much better to have a systematic approach in comparing this customer with a low potential, maybe that is registered as low potential, with companies with the same profile where you have, as you mentioned, Thomas, the same industry classification, the same size, and then from a statistical point of view, you could say, dear sales colleague, I respect what you enter in your CRM system. If you say it's just a potential of 1,000 euro, then it's okay. But compared to 53 other customers of ours, hey, this potential should be at 20 or 30,000 euro. So that would be a trigger for sales to go in an upselling of this customer. Systematic approach with the right data.
And this, of course, would as a prerequisite to combine your own data, your first party data you have on your own systems with that, because this is something we are not able to get, but there is, of course, the opportunity for you to combine this and then to do the lookalike modeling, but also to get support from our side to do the lookalike modeling and also to derive the potential. Yeah.
Great, thank you. The next question that's come in is, how does this work for services as opposed to goods?
The same. I would say there is no differentiation. If you are looking for specific services, like we showed as an example, services in data management, in big data, in I don't know what else. So there you can also enter the search term on the company website and identifying if someone is really offering this kind or looking for this kind of information. And if you're also looking in this intent topics, there are also not related to products, but also to any potential need. So there is no differentiation, I would say. Stefan, what is your feedback from reality, I would say?
Well, the question seems to me very broadly, where it's hard to find a specific answer to the customer need or the customer use case who just raised that question, I guess. What we often do is that we make some kind of data audit before, just to see how do the customers match with the D&B data cloud, and what opportunities they might occur, and later on also to enrich the existing customers with a DUNS number so that you can exclude those existing customers when you make when you download new leads. And believe me, this is a big topic, because deduping B2B data is not as easy as it sounds. If you look at BMW, everyone knows it and is under BMW in our database, but is the real name Bayerische Motorenwerke for those who like German. So it's much way complicated. So that I would suggest that would be a question that the one who asked it might address again to us, either per email or to the local offices from the country he comes from.
Great, thank you very much. So we're just going to just talk about some next steps. So thank you very much for attending. So we've just included some articles here for you to look at, some top tips for a more resilient sales pipeline, some of the B2B sales trends for 2023, and a bit more information on intent data and how that is the game changer in B2B sales. If you'd like to get in touch with us, here are the details of both Thomas and Stefan, or just please get in touch with your D&B representative. There's a link in the deck for a contact form, or just reach out to your D&B account manager. Thank you very much to all of you for joining, and please reach out if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Bye.